The next question involves finding the lowest or least common multiple. L stands for lowest or least. That's what I wrote. That's what I wrote there. Here, lowest and least. Okay, so you could find it both ways. Common multiple. So between 12 and 15, what I'm going to do first is to find all the numbers that I can multiply to get up to 12. So it could be 3 and 4. And then if I can keep working down, if there's not just a number 1 and a number 3, because that's not the way we work, we stop there. Once we know that the number there has to be only multiplied by 1, we stop there. So that number 4 can be written as a number 2 times a number 2. So I stop. Those are the factors of 12. Does that mean that that's the only way I can go? No, you could have said, okay, I'm going to use 2 and 6. So 6 can also be written as 3 and 2. You see? The answer is going to be the same. A number 2, a number 3, and a number 2. A number 2, a number 3, and a number 2. So it depends on what you choose. It's up to you in the end. How do we find that number 15? Okay, 3 times 5. So what are we going to write here in the lowest common multiple? We know that the answer is going to be numbers that are going to multiply each other, okay? So what I'm doing is I have to check the numbers that are repeating in both numbers, actually, that number 12 and number 5. Do I have numbers that are repeating? Yes, that number 3 is repeating. So I take only one and I write it here, okay? Then a number 5, is that 5 repeating? No, so I write it there, okay? And that's it. Then I have a number 2 and a number 2 and it's repeating, but guess what? It's repeating and both are with that number 12. So I'll take both, okay? If they're repeating with the same number, you take both. If they're repeating different numbers, you take only one. And that's it. That's how you find the lowest common multiple or the least common multiple. So in this case, I'm going to multiply everything. 3 times 5 is 15 times 2 times 2 is 4. So 15 times 4 is 60. 60 is going to be my lowest common multiple. How do we solve these using this information? All right. Okay, we found our least common multiple, our lowest common multiple, or least common multiple. What do we do with this number? Look, you have to solve this fraction, right? So that least common multiple is going to be your new denominator. It's going to be in the bottom of your fraction line. That's one way. This is one of the ways we can start solving this. How do I know what numbers to add on top? All right, so you're going to do two things. You're going to work with all the factors of that number 12. Remember, all the factors of that number 12? So first, you're going to list the factors of the 60. That number 60 is 3 times 5 times 2 times 2. What are the factors of the number 12? 3 times 2 times 2. So 3 times 2 times 2. That number, the answer for this, when you divide the least common multiple and the number 12, is going to give you the first number that you're going to write here, okay? And it's going to be a whole number and it's going to be a small number, hopefully. And then on the right side, I'm going to list all the factors of the number 15. So 3 times 5, because I have them here, 3 and 5, okay? So I'm going to cancel all the numbers that are repeating on top and bottom, 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 okay? So the answer for this is, I only have a number 5 on top and I have nothing in the bottom. So I'm only going to keep a number 5. That number 5 goes here. Then, how do we do it with the number 15? It looks like a 16, I know, I'm sorry. There you go. So I have a number 2 times a number 2, which gives me 4. That's the number that is going to be here, okay? So what sign should I place between them? Oh, you just have to take a look at your fraction. It's telling you to add, so you're going to add. What else do we have to do? Add them. 5 plus 4 is 9 over 60. Is that it? No. You have to simplify as you can simplify. So we've been simplifying a lot to get here. How do we simplify? I know all the factors of 60, so 3 times 5 times 2 times 2. What factors can we use to find the number 9? 3 times 3. What happens when we cancel them? 1, 1, and that's it. I can't keep simplifying because there's no 3 in the bottom. So I keep the number 3 on top, and I have to multiply all the numbers that are left. I'm going to say 2 times 2 is 4, and then I'm multiplying that number 4 times that number 5, which is 20. And that's the final answer. And that's how we solve this exercise. What I wanted to tell you was to show you the difference between doing it this way, finding the least common multiple, or solving it with cross multiplying. When you cross multiply, you get 1 over 12 plus 1 over 15, and this is how huge the number can get. 1 times 15, 15, plus, because I repeat this sign, 12 times 1 is 12. And then you have to put the answer of 12 times 15, because it's a smiley. Remember, it's a smiley here in the bottom. So it would be 180. The answer for this is 27 over 180. And this is how we do it without using the least common multiple. Does that mean that's the answer? No. You have to find factors on top and bottom so you can cancel them. In my case, I'm going to say that on top, 9 times 3 is 27, and 9 times 20 is 180. How do you know that? Because I know that 9 times 2 is 18. So I put a 0 there because I have a 180, not 18. You see? Actually, it's because I'm multiplying it times 10. But that's not the case right now. So 9 and 9, sayonara, 3 over 20. And that's the way to do this without finding the least common multiple. I wanted you to compare both.